All right, this is the time for you to be a part of the movement. It is a time for you to kick back, relax, and get into the zone. What zone? The bar zone. We are at the bar. The bar is officially open. My name is Sola Rogers, and it's always a pleasure to be here.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the boombar, like he had said, on boomradiong. And my name is Dolupo. You know, the one and only. This interesting afternoon, there are a lot of things that we're going to talk about. In fact, one of the major things that we're talking about is elections. There's election drama here and there. There's some allegations flying all over the place. There's polls that's got everybody talking. There's there's some conversation around maybe somebody has a case. Another issue with INEC, the court ordering INEC to do something else. You know, INEC is really in the news a lot. So yeah, we're going to definitely going to be talking about a lot of INEC today. Also, the EFCC is in the news. Very interesting news that popped up from the EFCC today. We're going to be talking about it. Also, there's a bit of entertainment news. You know, tomorrow is Friday. You would expect, but some of this news is too interesting to pass through. Also, Champions League. You know, Champions League was played yesterday, and yesterday's Champions League came with a lot of drama. Definitely a lot of drama. Also, with a lot of broken records. Let me put it like that. Some people are definitely going to get somebody is probably itching now that he's not playing Champions League. Maybe I get it now. I actually do get it now. But you know, anything is it is what it is, as we always say. It is what it is. So we're definitely going to be talking about that, people breaking records and all that. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy as we begin the show for today.
That's what it is. Dolupo is throwing shades at the great Ororo himself.
What I did?
You know, you're throwing shades, like seriously.
I didn't even say nothing. I didn't even say nothing.
That you get it. But anyway, let's dive into the business.
I did not say anything. I did not say anything.
We will hear it soon.
Anyway, so I think we should start from a conversation that has been going around, yeah, and why I said that is because
you know that's a line to a song.
Okay, can we not sing? Thank you, because you actually get it. Okay, can you stop, please? I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Thank you very much. So there seems to be something that is brewing right now, as INEC looks like there's something called Occupy INEC that everybody is going off about. And what started this whole conversation? This whole conversation started from which, you know, we had kind of predicted something like this was going to happen, where the coalition of united political parties had on Wednesday accused the Independent National Electoral Commission of altering the National Voters Register ahead of the 2023 general elections. Remember, a few days ago, INEC had come out to say that they had deregistered a few number of people that have registered to vote. So it was actually quite interesting when we had that conversation. Now, they're going on to say they're alleging that a court case has been initiated secretly to compel the Independent National Electoral Commission to stop the use of the bimodal voter accreditation system. The spokesperson stated that the intelligence team had credible intelligence that discovered the suit at the Federal High Court in Owerri. They also displayed extracts of the National Voters Register, where it claimed were part of at least 10 million fake registrations done by one of the political parties. Also, they're alleging that a lot of these names were sourced from within and outside Nigeria, including African countries like Ghana, Cameroon, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Togo, Guinea, Gambia, and even countries as far as New Zealand. They're saying that some of this contain foreign names, and then a lot of these names were born in 1983. It says some showed that they were born between 1900 and 1914, yet the photographs were those of young people. It said equally many male photos have their gender written as female and vice versa. He now alleged that he was the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, was under pressure to announce a change to the commission's stance on the compulsory BVAS machine.
All right, Mahmood, INEC chairman, fine boy. We've seen him, on top of his game. He's already taken us through one major round of elections, and it looks like someone that I feel is on top, doing his thing. These are very heavy allegations.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, when you're saying things like this, you're actually telling us on a real that you have proof. To the point where there's 10 million voters by a certain party that shall remain nameless because they didn't name them, right?
Okay. That's why I'm saying that. My first
10 million.
My first question.
And my own thing, even before your question, is that with the recent elections that have been conducted in Nigeria, with the process and the the automated systems and everything in place, how is it possible, with the electoral act, the electoral law, that everybody is praising? I watched the video where even the PDP's candidate Abubakar Atiku was saying he got it signed, and everybody believes that thing is like the answer to rigging elections and stuff, like it's going to stop it. How does one person now bypass the system, and people that are in the polling units will not know that these people don't even exist, to the point where they can rig by 10 million votes?
So my question is, or the first question that I have with this whole story is that this is me being naive, yeah, and asking a very genuine question. Is the voters register public knowledge?
No, it's not. Voters register is not public knowledge.
Okay, so if the voters register is not public knowledge, because there are pictures out there of posting people's data. Yeah, people's picture and their data and all that. How did you get your data?
Oh, they have investigators. Didn't you see the part where they said their intelligence gathering?
Okay, so
system?
Two things. Is it legal what you're doing? Number two, you now went ahead to publish these people's pictures and names.
Even on Twitter, that is just an app. Mm-hmm. It's one of the violations of the Twitter rule when you publish people's details.
So
and that's just an app.
I'm not understanding how. I see a lot of people talking about it and posting about it, but maybe I'm a little what's the word now? I just think about some things a little bit in depth, and that's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, let's even assume this thing is true. Where did you get this thing? Yeah. It's not public knowledge. Yeah. Last I checked.
So they said they have investigators. And remember when
it sounds very illegal to me.
But there was a time when a presidential candidate said he had access to servers that didn't exist.
So
again,
there's no veracity, because there are even things that you go to court and they say that because you didn't obtain evidence in some type of way, it is not admissible in court. So I don't want to.
You're even like assuming that the so-called evidence is real.
It's even real. That's the let's even start from that assumption.
For me, I'm going to go and just wait until the register is published. Mm-hmm. And then these names that have already been revealed are still there or are there at all. Do you understand? I see a lot of mischief going on in Nigeria's political space. People are coming up with a lot of fake news. It's almost as if there's a factory somewhere where a couple of
yeah, and you know, it's funny thing now there is a what's it called that is going on, and there is
and
Occupy.
What I noticed is nobody's verifying anything. On Monday morning, I woke up, I was on Twitter, and the European Union released a statement about how much they had spent on Nigerian elections over a couple of years.
Yeah.
Over a couple of election cycles and all. Election cycles. Then I went down the timeline of that tweet as if I knew what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And I found it. People saying, "Oh, stop giving the money to government. Hey, there is corruption. The money does not show. The millions of euros that you have spent is not spent the right way." Now, all they had to do was click on the link and read
what this money is for.
They don't give money to government.
Why would another country fund your elections?
They support civil societies. Countries fund the elections. Nigeria has funded 1 or 2 elections in Africa in recent times, actually. But civil societies are the ones that even get the bulk of this money. Then their own observers and other things, sensitization,
you just
information
get tired of
dissemination and all.
Like, it just gets really tiring.
So here are my country people just jumping jumping on headlines without reading the stories. So this is the fear that I have, that a lot of people are still going to be caught up with headlines, fake or otherwise. They're just going to get caught up with it.
Yeah, I get
and that's where the problem lies.
It's a huge problem, actually. It's a very huge problem, and you know, it's going off now. Everybody's going on. It's the first thing trending on Twitter. It has been trending for hours. Occupy INEC and all that, and I'm like, how are we? That's what the first thing that jumped to me. Like, why are people's details out there? How did you get those details?
If those people are real.
Are those people even real? So let's really be coming down with ourselves, like, literally.
Again, before you go far and before you leave this matter, I know there's a lot we're going to talk about. A few days ago, and even before that, you had narrated your personal ordeal on the INEC website, trying to get your own details. You couldn't until you had sorted out your what?
My NIN.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So they're saying that these non-existent people that they are alleging don't exist have NIN that exist. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
The same NIN that they used to bar a lot of real life people from using their phones until they went to get it. Now these people that don't exist have NIN. Abi? Do you understand the logic behind what I'm saying here?
I get your point.
This is science that we're talking about. Except they'll say, oh, they were hacked. Okay. So we'll wait for it, but I don't believe the story at all. I don't.
You know, I saw something earlier, and I wanted to also look at it. Like, you know, the one that popped out to me was the VIN. Yeah, on what's it called? Sorry, it's fine. On the electoral, you know, I wanted to pick out 1 or 2 of these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So, on their pictures all over on social media of people's voters cards and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The VIN that I've been seeing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're 9 numbers. Yeah. Some of them, the new one is even, I think, is really long, 90F. It starts from that. Basically, everybody's pictures of NIN that I've seen starts with 2 numbers. And then there's the the letters in between and all that. Yeah? Now, there's a picture that is going round of an additional Paul Monijesu, which a lot of people are going on about how his gender is female, how is this picture of this person a man. The VIN on this thing starts with NINC 2200000001930945.
That's fake.
That's even just
what's INC?
What is INC? Like, what exactly is INC? Why are we doing these things to ourselves?
The problem here now is that it's our job to shed light on these things.
Yeah.
And where we find ourselves is that we get feedback. You guys are, we're supporting the truth. That's what it is. Because most times it always happens the way we say it. And it's because it's our job to research. And we're helping you now to say,
do you get,
disregard this kind of
you need
story.
to see this. This is a picture of a VIN. Yeah, this is another picture. Can you see how the numbers are placed? And then you now come up and tell me this is a VIN. How?
And you believe it.
And then you believe it. See, it's not about. I get it that there's fake news. There's this. There's that. But I think that it's very shallow, because the honest truth is that if you take this to court, it already shows that you're a joke.
Yeah.
I think that we should get to a point where, I'm not saying that the government is wonderful. I'm not saying that whatever is happening is wonderful. I'm just saying that we should at least check things properly before we talk about them, before we post them, before, and then you see people put some things out and then you run with it. See, the honest truth is that I saw someone's video a few days ago, and the honest truth is that even if you want to kick out the very big parties, the APCs and the PDPs of this world, these people have been on their matter for years, and that's the truth. They've been on this matter for years. They know how the system works. So for you to want to upturn that, you have to come correct. You can't come to this and then you say that, okay, it was PDP that posted, it was APC. They will laugh at you. They will laugh at you. That's the one that hurts me the most. Like, we see a lot of this, and you see a lot of young people, very verified people, and then they're running with this gibberish. To me, I'm sorry if it's going to upset some people, but I think this is balderdash.
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on.
There's a lot of
still talking about things to talk about. Yeah, there's a lot of things that
the poll.
it's very interesting. Yeah, because now there's another conversation that is going on, and the conversation is about a particular poll that was conducted. And this particular poll that was conducted is called from the Anap Foundation. This Anap Foundation poll had the major political parties where there was a polls conducted. There was also other candidates, and it also had the story of it was refused. Another one was it was a lot of all this. And interesting part of it is that, anyway, this poll says that
we had to take a picture of TV, so you would also find that it was actually used on Arise TV. So that is a picture, a grab from the TV.
So on this poll, it said that Peter Obi is winning the election with a total of 21% voters. I'm trying to read this out for people that are listening and for people that are not watching. The Bola Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar they both come second with 13% of votes. Rabiu Kwankasso comes with 3% of votes. Other candidates come with 1% of votes. None is 2%. Undecided is 32%, and refused to participate in the polls 15%. And it's very interesting because also a lot of people are going on with these polls.
Yeah. So the first part that I want to start from is what is Anap Foundation, for God's sakes? I never heard of them before. But it is actually owned by Atedor Peter Side.
Okay.
The businessman, come politician, come everything. Yeah?
Okay.
And on his advisory board, he has Malam Ahmed Dasuki. They said that he's an architect, and he was on the board of MTN Nigeria and Stanbic IBTC for 2 decades. It's from my side, sorry. Stanbic IBTC. Then there's George Etomi, a Lagos-based lawyer, and there's Ndidi Unoli Edozian, co-founder and chair of Green Business Foundation, and Yinka Soni, chief executive of Stanbic IBTC. Of course, we know Atedor's links to Stanbic IBTC. So these are the Anap Foundation people on the board. And I'm wondering, like, really and truly, what are your antecedents in politics and polls conducting and everything?
Yeah.
But you know how we just want to take everything hook, line, and sinker. So I said, okay, for me, I don't know how credible these polls are. That's one. Two, you said poll question. You know, something like, suppose the presidential elections is being conducted today. Sounds like something that you come up with on WhatsApp. You know,
okay.
Like, it sounds like something that you come up with on Twitter. Like, you know, when those Twitter influencers they're bored and they're
looking for something to talk about. You know,
that's the way I see it.
I was going to say a few things with this poll, and the first thing for me is
three.
Yeah, go ahead.
In a poll that has 32% undecided people. Of the number of people that they sampled in the 6 geopolitical zones, they claim they sampled in 6 geo. We do not know the total number, because if you want your poll to be credible, the first thing you say is that we have sampled 1 million people.
Exactly. That was the very first question.
But there are no figures there.
There is the statistics is for statistics' sake, there's always a number there's always a number that we're dealing with. Okay, in 5,000 people, in 50,000 people, in 20 million people. Do you understand? We do not know the percentage of what that we're dealing with. So to me, it looks a little dubious. Not saying that Peter Obi cannot win the elections. That's it. You had talked about how there is 15% of people that refuse to answer, and 32% of people that are undecided. That is at least 47% of your polls. That's almost half of the people.
That's it.
Almost half of the people. Meaning that half, come February 2023, let's even say that you did a fantastic job at the people that you asked this question. Come February 2023, it could swing in anybody's way. 47% of votes in Nigeria added to whatever number you have for anybody, even if it is Rabiu Kwankasso, that person would have won the elections fair and square.
That's what it means, actually. That's what it means in black and white.
In black and white is right there, which is the part. That's the part I don't get from the polls. I'm not saying that the polls are not credible, but for statistics students and people that understand this thing, they will say, okay, when you have stuff that you're talking about like that, what variables are we talking about here? What is the bottom line? What's the number of people that were sampled? That's when you can decide, okay, this is a percentage of this number of people.
And everybody's jumping on it. You know, again, the owner of the Anap Foundation says he has joined the Social Democratic Party, the SDP. This he said a couple of months ago. He was urging people to join political parties too. There is no way a partisan person should be conducting
a poll. Yeah.
If you want to give us credible polls that we are all discussing the way we're discussing now, you can't be partisan. I don't care what you're going to say about it. You cannot be partisan. But he said it's actually, you know, in an interview that he has joined a political party. So again, that's the issue. So picture a top PDP member or any PDP coming up with a foundation and a poll, you would believe that he's biased, he's skewed in a way. Oh, they'll say, oh, he's not. Well, how do we know? How do we know he hasn't moved from SDP to another party? Yeah,
it's very interesting.
I'm not even holding back on this one because at the point where you are, we keep holding back on stuff, but I'm not holding back on this one. I'm saying that these polls to me are not.
It's not interesting. Still talking about it. There's a reaction that I've seen now as the Director of Media and Publicity for the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Ononuga, has now called these polls as dubious. And as they said that these polls are not dependable at all, that they are unperturbed by the dubious and unrealistic statistics because our result shows that NOI polls have been off the mark at critical election periods in recent times.
Most times. But it's not even about the parties now. For me, it's even about how we should be careful the way we manage information and misinform and disinform people. And again, fool the candidates, because some candidates might, we have arrived, and some will be like, oh, we need to do more, and then you end up.
So according to these people, they're saying that this same ANAP Foundation had conducted polls in 2015 that claimed that President Goodluck Jonathan then has the best overall familiarity, rating it at 99%. And they had dismissed the then APC presidential candidate, Muhammad Buhari, as a borderline candidate.
Then what happened?
Okay.
That's why I say, look, bottom line, we are not even a poll kind of country. We're not America where polls have, and even the America that polls are, they say, the last time they said Donald Trump was not going to win, and he won. Yeah. At the end of the day, you're not as long as you're not voting like right there, and then people end up doing this voting themselves, and they would do that by themselves. So we'll see how this goes on. But I'm still talking about INEC. There's a lot of stories that have to do with INEC today, as the court has now ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to accept and publish the name of Godswill Akpabio as a candidate of the APC for the Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District. They said that INEC acted illegally for refusing to accept and publish Akpabio's name, even when it was sent by the APC as its candidate. They said that Akpabio was validly nominated, and that it is basically, let me put it like that, that INEC is bound by the provisions of the Electoral Act, and it is whoever the party brings to them that they should accept. Yeah, but I have a problem with that pronouncement, because one of the prerequisites for a candidate to emerge as the authentic candidate of a party, because we know there are always parallel congresses and parallel is that INEC would observe, or supervise it or whatever, or at least they'll be in that. And they were not in attendance at the primaries that Senator Akpabio was at. Do you get? So I don't know why that has to happen, that they say INEC acted illegally. I think INEC acted within the confines of the law that empowers it to monitor elections. And how is it that a primary election that INEC did not, attend is what is training up?
Was it even that they didn't attend? Remember that he had gone on to contest for the presidential election. Then he stepped down. Then there was supposed to be, I think it was his side. Now there was supposed to be a rerun, and the issue that INEC had was, you can't have a rerun with a new person again on the ballot. Yeah, they even, one of the stories, their own responses is what I'm reacting to, that they did not monitor. That's what INEC is hinging his own defense on, that they did not monitor the so-called primaries that this particular candidate. So that's what I am hinging it on. That's actually huge. They didn't monitor it. So where did he emerge from? Okay. The honest truth is that I think from day one he probably should have just taken a form for Senate seats in the first place, as there are plenty of them as Senate presidents. It's like there's a coalition. You know, I was reading it somewhere a few months ago where they said that the House of Assembly, about 70% of the people in the National House of Assembly are not coming back. You know, this 10th Assembly is going to be very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be very, there's a lot of newcomers. Also know that there's issues with like the Senate president. There's also a few people back and forth.
There shouldn't be any issues with the Senate president because the person who won the election is still alive.
According to INEC now, they didn't even put anybody. They're saying that APC, which I think is unfair on the man. I think it's unfair on him, but we'll definitely...
They would lose out. The APC would lose out. That's at the end of the day, what they did in Zamfara is going to happen to them.
I'm not even talking about the APC. I'm talking about the person himself because
he is a member of the APC. At the end of the day, the party
if they
will
don't
lose
sort
out.
their issues exactly with INEC at the end of the day,
and any other party in that area will win.
Okay, so
they don't have to win.
Still talking about elections, looks like the Osun State elections that happened at July 16 is not going anywhere anytime soon, as according to the APC Osun State chapter, they had stated that there's an analysis that there's a number of registered voters and PVCs collected revealed some inconsistencies. They said that Osun PVC collection data revealed that total number of PVCs collected for 30 polling units was greater than the total number of registered voters in those polling units. Also said that there were inconsistencies that were recorded in 12 local government areas. They're talking about how some pictures that were uploaded online onto the server, thank God there's a server now, that some of them were blurry images and poorly captured photographs, and this actually literally removed some of the results of the pictures. They're making a lot of bold statements. They're talking about how some of the results were prematurely announced. Some of these results did not have a signature of the INEC's what's the word now? I'm looking for the person in charge that is supposed to sign this results before it's uploaded, that some of them did not have a signature on them. You know, they put some things, they're saying that Eden North local government, where there's a polling unit, Alu Shekere unit 004, it says that the total votes cast for that unit was 1,267, but Beavers recorded only 858 accredited voters.
So the discrepancies according to this report that you're reading now.
Yeah, so they're saying that in Ward 5, Unit 14, 206 number of Ward 5 unit, 206 number of votes were recorded for parties against 118 people that were accredited.
Yeah. So there is a report from the one of the assistants of the Osun State governor who is involved in this whole matter, and he is actually hinging it on Yaga. And if you don't know what Yaga is, this is the Youth Initiative for Advocacy, Growth and Advancement. And we know that they have the full support of a lot of foreign bodies.
There's
US
a lot of monitoring and all that.
And they monitor elections.
Yes, they do.
So their report is what is one of the things that Governor Oyetola is hinging his defense or his fight for this mandate that is now up for grabs, because
it's shaky.
Left to me, when INEC declared Ademola Adeleke as the winner, and the president of the country congratulated him, I'm like, well,
yeah, it was interesting. You thought that
he even got his certificate of return.
Yeah.
That it's time to move on, but if you notice, the APC refused to congratulate him.
Yeah, the Osun State APC refused to congratulate him.
So Ismail Omikbidon, the chief press secretary of Governor Oyetola, said that they are hinging everything, or some of the things they're saying on the Yaga report. And I don't want to go into the details that you have already gone into. I just want to put out the figures that remember that Ademola Adeleke of the PDP was declared the winner with 403,371 votes to Oyetola's 375,027 votes. And I think we did the calculation then and we came up with the difference. And it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But that's like 28,000 or so votes, But now they're saying that with all these discrepancies, that they are definitely
challenging the results. Of course, this is a very interesting one.
Not yet Uhuru in Osun State.
The hottest truth for me is remember that there's also a drama around the primaries, the PDP primaries in Osun State. That case is still in court. But the only thing that always pops up in my head is that the judiciary is very funny. Everybody cannot go to sleep until you've gotten a Supreme Court verdict, and that's the truth. We've seen how people have been sacked 3 years into being governor. People have been sacked 2 years, 1 year. We've seen people that have been sacked a few months into being a governor.
On the eve,
we've seen what that was actually he got news right there during rehearsals that he was sacked. So until you get to the Supreme Court or your 4 years is complete, bam, you can still be sacked.
It's not a funny matter.
It's not a funny matter anymore. The judiciary is not joking. So, at the end of the day, something that we say here on Boom Radio that if it's everybody's right to want to go to the court. If you want to test the courts, please go ahead. It's your right at the end of the day. So we'll see how Osun State drama unfolds. And quickly before we go on something else, I just saw something now where it was said that President Muhammadu Buhari has approved national honors and cash awards of as much as 200 million naira to Team Nigeria contingents for that went to the 2022 Commonwealth Games and World Athletics Champions. There you go, man. There you go, man. Money.
At some point, I'm looking at the president of Nigeria like, bros, why are you stingy like this?
Like, why you want to be akagom like this?
Encourage these children.
Why you want to be akagom? Open your hand.
Encourage them.
Open it.
They need the money too now. How do we even improve our economy? These are ways
the money has to
you have to
go
pump
round.
Money in.
See, our daddy Buhari, shout out to you.
It's your daddy.
Is everybody's daddy?
It's not my daddy.
Okay,
it's just my president.
That the people that he gave 200 million that is not their daddy.
It's not my. Has he given me 200 million?
Okay, so you're waiting for 200 million.
No, but it's not my daddy.
But my
daddy is in Alagbado.
So if he gives you 200 million now, you will not.
Still my president.
He's not giving.
Mr. President. Sir.
Okay.
Hello. He's looking too young to be my daddy.
Aye. He's looking too young to be your daddy.
Yes.
That
guy is like 60 something.
See, thank God that you said it. Hello, President Buhari. Show us the way. Cut soap for us.
The man is using Sagbadiwe.
Cut soap for us. Whatever it is you have been doing in the past few weeks or months, let's know.
But let Nigerians feel it too now. Bros, only you know feel the shop. Whatever it
is. He's looking fresh.
Because we need
fresher and fresh.
We need it. Nigeria, we need our money.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, and statistics for the inflation popped out today, and there's about 20.5% inflation. Again, it has increased, and it's crazy. It's at times when inflation drops, you really don't feel it.
No, we don't.
But when it's increasing, you feel it at the slightest bit. Everything is crazy expensive.
This has always been the issue for me. Like, you're just going to sit down somewhere and telling me that the inflation rate for this month is 16.4. Guy, I don't care. Because guess what?
It's not.
I bought sugar 500 naira last week. I'm buying it 600 this week. I don't get your 6 point something clinical point something thing, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. It's very, very. It's a very interesting thing though. But anyway, let's move on quickly from that. There's something that I wanted to talk about. That EFCC had announced that they had arrested 2 owners of Yahoo schools and 7 others who are the students in Benin.
A few months ago, there was a video that went viral. It was funny. There was a video that went viral. It was shot in Benin, and it was of 2 kids, boys, teenage boys, under the age of 16, I presume. Again, they left Delta State, Warri, to Benin.
Yeah, that they said they were going to do Yahoo.
They want to learn work. Now, if you're not a Nigerian, let me explain what learn work means. Learn work is like an apprenticeship scheme in Nigeria where people get to learn how to be artisans and all sorts of things. Yeah. Now they want to learn how to be fraudsters. So there's actually an institution, So I look at it and say, yeah. Come to think of it, back in the day in Surulere, you would have a chairman who had a couple of people working with him. Now, they would have an office or someone's house, and they resume there every day.
Oh God.
And,
are you kidding?
They give them different assignments. Those days, there was no internet, so they were writing envelopes. They would be writing envelopes. Some are stacking the envelopes. Some are going to mail it, So you graduate from writing envelope to writing letter. Then when they get feedback, the ones that do the follow-ups on the phone, they go to business centers and sit down there like it's their office. Because those days, phones were not readily available.
Yeah.
So when the phone rings, they tell the business center that maybe it's their call, so they pick it, and they're speaking to foreigners and they're scamming them. So that was the school actually. I just cast my mind back. Yeah, well. It's not new. They've been doing this thing for years, and they're doing it and messing us up. We are innocent, but we get, the bad part of the deal. Now, INEC,
EFCC.
No. I said INEC day own day. They also NDLA they try. Immigration they do, but EFCC is now busting education matters because this is an education matter. It's a school. So I think it's the Minister of Education that EFCC should hand over to, because this is a matter of education or miseducation. It's not funny.
I don't even know what to say.
But I'm laughing.
Point. I don't know what to say because it's sad. It is really, 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 really sad that we have gotten to this point where there's a school of Yahoo. Are you joking? Like, are you people so jobless?
That's not joblessness. That's work that they have created for themselves.
They're so fraudulent. See, what was going on? People have fraudulent issues in their body.
True.
It's crazy though. I like the fact that they've gotten arrested. I hope there are more people involved in all these things, because it's not just you alone. We've seen how people's actions or inactions have affected other Nigerians in other countries. And it's probably going to get worse if we're not careful at the end of the day. So, kudos to the EFCC on that. And quickly, before we go to a bit of sports that we have to talk about, Nollywood actor Olarewaju James has now asked and the Ikeja Domestic and Sexual Violence Court to grant him, for people that do not know who that is Baba Ijesha. I remember the story of Baba Ijesha and how there was video going on about how he had molested some fellow Nollywood actors, ward and all that, and then he was sent to jail for 5 years, and now he's asking the court to grant him post-conviction bail pending hearing and determination of his appeal before the Lagos Division of the Court of Appeal. So, number one, I didn't even know that he was supposed to be he was even getting bail, or he was even appealing that judgment in the first place.
Bukola Medubi says, which way Nigeria?
Which way?
Things are hard, man. Things are hard. Now we are on the topic of Baba Ijesha, like they like to call him, Yoruba actor, Nollywood actor. I still feel that the 5-year sentence is not commensurate with the crime. I feel that the victim might be scarred for life. I feel that the people who try to fight for justice are still looking over their shoulders because they were hounded and made to feel very bad. I feel that there's a support system for the perpetrator who is now confirmed a sexual offender. There's a groundswell of support for him on sentimental grounds of him being an actor or being their friends. You see, these people are doing it until he hits close
God
to home.
God forbid I have such friends, though, because the minute you can't even be my friend. You cannot. I can't even know such people.
It is until he hits close to home.
Such people.
When he gets you, when he hits you in the gut, maybe your own child or your nephew or niece falls into this situation. That's when you understand. But you see, that makes you a bad person. You must be able to understand what people are going through.
Exactly.
Now, this man, having spent a day or two in prison, wants to be let out.
He wants to be let out.
So that he can
wants
appeal.
to be, there's bail so that they can stop his conviction until the appeal. Please, I don't know if people say I'm wicked, but I hope that for the sake of the what's happening, I hope he really goes to appeal court, and I hope another judge who has zero tolerance for things like this sends him to jail for life.
Amen.
Because Shabi, you want to be foolish, Shabi. Don't worry.
Amen.
My prayer will be answered. Anyway, let's move on quickly from that. As there's Champions League. Whoop whoop. So there was Champions League game yesterday. Very interesting. As Napoli seems to be on a roll. It looks like they want to win Champions League. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying that they seem to be, as now, they were the ones that beat Liverpool last week now. And now they beat Rangers again 3-0 yesterday. They are not joking at the moment.
They are on the ascendant.
They are. As AC Milan also beat Dynamo Zagreb 3-1 yesterday. Chelsea, even after sacking Tuchel, all they could get was a draw. Anyway, I'm just saying. Real Madrid beat RB Leipzig 2-0. They're defending champions, so they're not doing badly. The very interesting one that a lot of people are talking about is Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund. And how even Haaland ended up scoring, even though there's a lot of talks about how they did not play as wonderful as people thought they would have played.
And the issue quickly is that they kind of rotated the squad, so they thought they could play around with Dortmund, and when they saw how tough it was going to be, they had to bring
step up
the big guns.
They definitely stepped up to the game, as Manchester City's coach ended that game with a yellow card. Interesting one. Juve actually lost their game to Benfica yesterday. They won last week's game. We don't know what happened this time. And PSG won their game yesterday 3-1. It started with Lionel Messi scoring that goal yesterday, and with his goal that he scored yesterday, he has now added 2 more records to his portfolio. According to records now, he is now the only player to score in 18 consecutive Champions League seasons. So meaning that he has attended 18. That's amazing.
And he has won quite a few.
That is amazing. Also, Messi is now the only player to net against 39 teams in the Champions League.
And of course, this is the part where Dolupo rubs
No, he and Cristiano Ronaldo were actually sharing this together before, but which now, in my mind, to be honest with you, when you know that I remember we were having this conversation and you were going on about how Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to move away from.
It was about records for him,
but because he wanted to play Champions League. Unfortunately, he's not playing Champions League now. And I didn't really grasp it like that. I'm like, it's just Champions League, really. You're not playing it, move on from it. But
now you get it.
Oh, now I get it. There's a major rivalry. Not like there's like fight or anything, but it's bragging rights. I got it first. I did it first. That kind of thing. Obviously, Lionel Messi got it first. Yes. At this point, yes. We don't know if who's going to play. We don't even know if Ronaldo is even going to play Champions League ever again.
Yeah. So there's several records that they still share or they're still gunning for, and people have already started speculating and saying all sorts of stuff. I see a situation where maybe in the January window, if there's a club that's willing, Ronaldo will still go to be a part of it. But now that he has played for, I'm sure he would have played for United by then, it might not work for him, except they say you play Europa, then you can play Champions League, because the European tournament, so
you can't.
So it might look like maybe the end of the season, but if he's allowed, I'm sure he will still want to go. His biggest issue was always the fact that his wage was high. So for a lot of people, apart from the character that he has that people feel is domineering, which is true and which is not a bad thing to have in a team, but his wages.
Even if you remember.
But congratulations to Lionel Messi, because he deserves it.
He definitely deserves it. If you remember very well, what's he called? Even Messi, he had to be a PSG. There's some people that can only dole out some kind of money. Yeah. There's some people that they will not. They will rather.
At the end of the day, these guys are professionals.
They're professionals. They play amazing.
They're going to stop playing football at some point in time in their lives.
Yeah.
And they must have something to live on for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And not all of them can coach. Not all of them can.
Not all of them can coach. But I think some of these people are brands on their own now. Yeah. They definitely have become brands. Quickly before we go, of course, there's Europa that's being played.
There are a couple of games to be played today, and there's Real Sociedad versus Omonia. Olympiacos will square off with SC Freiburg. Sheriff Tiraspol will play host to Man United. Feyenoord versus SK Storm Graz. Karabakh will play host to Nantes. Trabzonspor versus Zvezda. Reims versus Fenerbahce. Roma, my team, versus HJK. Braga versus Union Berlin. Union Saint-Gilloise versus Malmo. Real Betis versus Ludogorets, and Dynamo Kiev versus AEK Larnaca.
Okay, so those are.
You see why I did that is that a lot of those clubs you don't know them. So when they get to the knockout stage, then you'll be like, okay. Now we know. Now I know. I know
that Arsenal is not playing their game again today because of some issues with security and all that. So anyway, we're moving on from that quickly before we go. AFRIMA, which is the African. Okay, I'm trying to rethink. The All Africa Music Awards have now released their nominees for the AFRIMA 2022 awards, and on that list, Nigerian nominees are doing a lot, as Kizz Daniel has the highest number of nominations on that list with his hit single Buga, and he's nominated for the Best Male Artist in West Africa, Song of the Year, Artist of the Year, Best African Collaboration, Best Artist and Duo or Group in an African Pop. Closely behind him is Burna Boy, Davido, Fireboy, and Tiwa Savage that all have 4 nominations. Burna Boy has Male Artist of the Year, West Africa Song of the Year, Album of the Year, and Artist of the Year. Davido is nominated for Best Africa Collaboration, Best Artist, Best Male Artist in African Music. Fireboy, yeah, is also nominated for Best Male Artist in West Africa, Song of the Year, Artist of the Year, Best African Collaboration. For me, the honest truth is that I was going to say that also there are some artists. Tiwa Savage also got 4 nominations to Best Female Artist in West Africa, Artist of the Year, Best African Collaboration, and Best Artist. Other Nigerian artists with multiple nominations: CK, Rema, Fields, and Ashake. Now, my own issue is one thing I wanted to point out, that the best male artist in West Africa, the way it's going is definitely going to be in Nigeria in any which way. Do you understand? Song of the Year. A lot of these nominations are actually Nigerian artists at the end of the day. Yeah. So, we're not your mates.
They never see me coming. See me coming.
What?
Mr. Money. I just love what these guys are doing.
They're doing amazing.
I love the beauty of their hard work. It is paying off. I know they are standing on the shoulders of the people who went ahead of them, but they are not disappointing at all. They're actually doing great. African music is amazing. Patoranking did a collaboration with Dynam
Platinums, yeah.
It's there. Vocalist with Davido. Across borders. There's Black Sheriff coming through with Burna Boy and all. So I like the collaborations. I like the fact that African music has actually penetrated and Nigerians are spearheading it. They are at the forefront of this. Are you all right though?
Yes, I saw something. Please go ahead. I'll get to it. I hope I can quickly talk about it before we go.
The other thing I wanted to say is that which of the AFRIMAs? Because there's 2.
Oh, there's 2.
Remember.
Okay, at this point, I don't know what you're talking about because me, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Anyway, quickly before we go, there's another reaction of a story that we had picked up way earlier, and it's about the polls that we were talking about. Yeah. And the presidential candidates of the African, we got a reaction from the APC. Now, the African Action Congress has also put out the reaction. The presidential candidate of that party, Omoyele Sowore, has now berated the founder of the Anap Foundation and saying that he is Peter Obi's campaign manager and that he's liking him to MC Oluomo. Wait, what did MC Oluomo do to you people now? Like, I don't understand. Somebody will be sitting on their own. And then
trailer will go and
jam there. Like, what did the person do to you people?
It's until the day Oluomo will come and meet you people and say, why are you calling my name in vain? I get Showore's response, just like I said. And you see, that's the thing. If you want to conduct polls, you have to stay neutral.
What you said.
Yeah.
Like what you said. He said, and let me read his old tweet. And he says that opinion poll riggers are not different from election riggers. Atedo Peter's side should not be conducting opinion polls. He lacks the credibility to conduct any polls. He is one of Mr. Peter Obi's campaign managers. Like, this is Lagos. MC Oluomo conducting an opinion poll that states that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu will win 2023 presidential elections. You already know the results. Stop fooling Nigeria. Stop rigging opinion polls. Okay.
I said it.
You did. You actually did. You called this.
On that note,
thank you for listening. Thank you very, very, very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. This Denga TGIF tomorrow. So please join us and
look out for my opinion from this one right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have pace.
Get ready for your seatbelts and shit. You know what I'm saying?